This last example should look pretty familiar from pre-calc. We've got half-life. We're going to be using our exponential model, and we're going to be solving for different parts of the model. The first piece that we're going to be solving for is that constant of proportionality, or the K value. So we know that this isotope has a half-life of 2,417 years, so that is the amount of time that it will take to decay to half of whatever it started with. And then the second part, the 1.5 grams left after 1,000 years, we're going to use that to solve for the initial amount. But for the first piece, solving for that K value, the amount after time is 1/2 of, if we started, for example, with a gram of 1, we would have 1/2 left. So I usually don't put the 1 there, I just put the 1/2 equals, but I wanted you guys to make sure to understand where that 1/2 was coming from. And then the time it takes to decay to 1/2 is 2,417 years. So to solve this equation, I'm going to pretend that 1 isn't even there. I'm going to take the natural log of both sides. The natural log will cancel the e, leaving me with 2,417 times k. To get k alone, I will divide both sides by the 2,417, which will give me that constant of proportionality. And I got about negative 0.000287. These k values are going to be very small numbers, so what I would like you to do is, instead of rounding to 3 decimal places like we normally would, because then we'd get a k value of 0, that's not real helpful, keep 3 numbers after all of the zeros are over. All right, as mentioned, we're going to use this ordered pair. There are 1.5 grams left. That's our y value, that's the output, when we have 1,000 years that it's been decaying. So our ordered pair would look like 1,000, 1.5. I'm going to go ahead and sub that into the equation we've got so far using that k value. So 1.5 is the amount after time. We're looking for that initial amount, e to the negative 0.000287 times 1,000 years. In order to solve for c, we're just going to take that 1.5 and divide it by e to that power. So for my c value, I got about 1.999, which tells me we probably had an initial value of 2. All right, now we're going to use our model with our initial value, that constant of proportionality, and we're going to use it to answer a question. I'm going to rewrite that equation here so we can use it. And our question is, how much will be left after 10,000 years? Well, years is our t value, so we're going to go ahead and sub that in for t. And then at that point, all we have to do is sub it into our calculator. And I got about 0.113 grams. All right, what I'd like to do now is hear a little bit from you and how you're doing. As I'm recording this, it is the Monday after Easter. So if you remember, Saturday was a gorgeous day. I spent the vast majority of the day outside, almost got sunburned. I forgot what it's like being outside in the sun for so long. And then, of course, as you know, it snowed on Easter, so we ended up having an indoor Easter egg hunt with the boys, and they still had a ton of fun. And hopefully you all had some fun with your family as well. So why don't you in the comments either tell me what you did on the Saturday, the gorgeous day, or Sunday, what you were able to do for Easter, and let me know how you're doing.